the world will continue to move. And the change that we've seen the last 25 years in this industry is probably the slowest we've seen. And the change from here on will only accelerate. 2018, we're going to have 9.3 billion mobile subscriptions in the world, going from some 6.3 billion mobile subscriptions in the world end of 2012. And yes, it's going to be more subscription than people on Earth. That's true for the ones calculating. More than 90% of the Earth population by 2018 will have mobile coverage. The pace will continue. But maybe even more important is, of course, we will go from 1.5 billion mobile broadband subscribers or subscriptions by 2012, end of 2012, to 6.5 billion. And for everyone that knows how many people using internet today, that means that 2018, we're going to have 3 times as many people having access to the internet. That's why I'm saying the change that we'll see in front of us will even be faster, and we'll even see more innovation. All that leads to what we call the networked society. And the theme is bringing the networks society to life. That's what we're doing here. And the network society is when anything benefits from being connected will be connected. It will impact us as users. Think only about 2011, 7% of all mobile subscribers had a smartphone. Last year it was 15% that had a smartphone. And we believe during the year of 2013, by end of 2013, 50% of all shipments by end of this year will be smartphones. A tremendous change, and we all know how the feature phone and the smartphone changed your behavior of using the networks. But not only that, I think one of the themes you're going to see around here is, of course, how businesses, enterprises, or professional lives will be changed by using the network society. Last year we signed deals with Volvo, Maersk, Electro-V, other industries, which for 3 years ago I never believed. But there's of course a reason for it. The reason is mobility, broadband and the cloud is changing and transforming our industries. And I meet a lot of industry leaders from other industries, and they have that on their minds. How can you use this to be more efficient to meeting our consumers? And finally, our society also will be changed. Everything from healthcare, education, and how we can address the CO2 emission. That's the network society. And we're just about to get into it. And the pace will just go up from here. And I think that's very important. So change will happen. That means that our customers, the carriers, the operators, they're also thinking what strategic choices they have for success. And if I look out right now, meeting all the carriers and operators and our customers in 180 countries all around the world, they think about which is the best way for us to go in order to be successful. We meet some that think that our way to go is to be a network developer, meaning we have the best network and we're going to optimize, have superior performance on it. And then we're going to have content and applications and other things on top of it. But that somebody else will do. On the other hand, we see operators we call service creators that thinks much further out. They're not only going to have superior performance on the network, they're going to transform and do new business models in the service layer, and also on top of that, new innovation and revenue growth. Everything from machine to machine, mobile payments, IPTV, cloud services. And that's quite unique in this young industry that we suddenly see that differentiation in our customer base. But it's all based on what type of assets our customer have, what type of market they are into, what position they have in the market. So that is how the network society will move with this landscape and change what choices our customers have. And of course, Ericsson also is changing to meet that. And if you think about those choices that operators have and our customers, we of course have our things that we're investing in. First of all, any option and choice that our customers will take, will need network evolution. A great network evolution of technology, because the base and the most important is to have a great network, because that's on top of that it will happen things. And not only that, if you want to go further, you need to change your OSS and BSS, your operating system, your building system, because voice will be one service and data will be the main part of the networks. And all the provisioning, service offering, customer experience will be through that. And you need other unique solutions. And finally, you need to have the innovation and revenue growth, where we launched already last year, machine to machine, etc. So I think that if you look at the $5 billion that Ericsson invests in R&D every year, these are the three areas that we are investing in to meet the customer's transformation and how they make the evolution. And I was thinking about going through a little bit what we're launching here in these three segments, so you get a feeling for how important this is to our company. Starting with network evolution. And the network evolution is of course a lot of technology, but also our service engineer putting it together. We are launching here today, for example, the unique Air 32. I guess we can see it somewhere. Do we have the Air 32 somewhere? It's behind there, the Air 32. For the ones that remember, last year we came out with the Air product that is now have been shipping in volumes. This next step of the Air, which is combining the radio base and the antenna, much more efficient. And the new one has actually 70% higher speed and 25% better indoor coverage. Continue on an evolution there. The other thing that we're talking a lot about here is called the heterogeneous networks. The combination of small cells and large cells that you would see further down there. What is unique here is of course the combination of the small cells and the larger network. And the combination of them, if you align them, you have 100% better capacity. And that's our view. As a leader in the technology here, our view is to combine the micro layer and the macro layer in the heterogeneous networks. That you can work with both 3G, 4G and Wi-Fi at the same time, using the best of the licensed spectrum and the unlicensed spectrum. That's what we're doing. And of course, we need to talk about 4G. Even though it's 6.3 billion mobile subscriptions in the world, and we ended up on some 55 to 60 million mobile subscribers on 4G, it's still the technology that has moved the quickest since we started with mobility. And we of course has installed here in this Ericsson Hall, Ericsson City 4G network, and I would like you just to see what speeds we can achieve on it. So let's see if we can move to the speedtest.net. This is a computer connected to the network we have here, and let's see what type of speeds we're getting. Okay. Most important, I will let it go first. I will comment, it will do the upload right now. So the download speed is 131 megabits per second, which of course is extremely quickly, and that's in this environment, and 34 down. Maybe what is most astonishing is of course the latency, 28 milliseconds. That's a huge difference from the 3G as well. So both the speeds and the latency on 4G has a big difference. And we have learned a lot about 4G. Roughly 50% of all smartphone traffic on LTE networks in the world is going through our equipment. That's our footprint that we have on 4G right now. And we can see here what fantastic latency can have. We have also, together with Telefonica here, Barcelona, put up a 4G network that can handle voice over LTE, seamless handover from 4G to Wi-Fi. So we really are using the 4G experience here. At the same time, we launched today that we were awarded from O2 UK, 50% of the radio network for 4G, but 100% of the EPC, the evolved packet core, which is sort of the LTE core network, which is built on the SSR that I talked a lot about last year, standing behind here as well, and solidified that we now have 89 contracts on the SSR and the EPC together when it comes to that type of movement. So we're very happy for that. But it's not only about the network technology. It's also about the consumer experience. And the consumer experience, as you know, is very much about that you get the right service at the right time to the right device or the right type of speeds. Here we see a tremendous transformation when it comes to OSS BSS. And our investment in OSS BSS last year was very clear. First of all, Concept Wave and Telcordia. That together with our real-time charging of 2 billion mobile subscribers is a great foundation for us to work with customers all around the world. And adding our service capabilities, some 60,000 service professionals that can system integrate and work with that all the time. What you see here up on the screen, that's the Oss Dashboard, that we have changed the whole interface for our customers, how they can follow subscribers, how to use the network if there are any outages, how to provision things, how to get all these new data services live in order to deliver the right things to the customers, which is a new way to deliver managed services. We have in less than 10 years gone from 0 subscribers in our managed services to 950 million. For us, this is a crucial business, a very strategic piece of it, and we are in the forefront and the #1 clearly in the industry. Now we're moving to a customer-centric managed services where we think about their KPIs, what is important for their customers in our offerings. And that's a next step for us in the leadership when it comes to that. So, talked about network technologies, I talked about customer experience. Putting that together, where do you end up? You end up in a stadium. Some 35 big events every year all around the world. Ericsson has a lot of experience to work with Olympics, World Championships. So what is happening in the big event these days? 10 years ago, you went to the soccer game, you called on the phone, sent an SMS before the game started, then it was the break, and you called again, and then it was second half, and then it was over. How is the experience at the event today? You're constantly on, sharing information, streaming information, getting information what's happening out in the world, from the event and outside the event. So we have a seamless usage of the networks. What we have learned is, of course, how to optimize, how to put in the technology in key events, and that's a service offering that we're doing. I mean, just recently it was a big football game in the US. In the football game, during the game, it was 73,000 calls during the game, and 388 gigabytes was sent during the game. In a very dense area. Here you really need to know how to optimize. The majority of everything that happened during that key event was, of course, data and video. We expect that in not too distant future that 90% of everything that happens in the networks will be video. And we believe also that by 2018 we want to have 12 times as much data in the network that we have today. So video data coming from this user experience and how we are using the networks and the smartphones and the connected devices. So one can say clearly, it's not the demand issue in this industry. It's not the demand issue. It's more how we monetize and how we make it efficiently to our customers. That's why we're here, we'll have our media delivery network, which is an operator CDN. So what's that? That's a way to optimize how to deliver content over the networks. And of course, moving video smoothly across the mobile networks and different networks. That's the type of things that Ericsson is doing in order to make this happen. So operators, our customers, can deliver service to us as users that is seamless in between different type of content and applications. So that's a very important launch we're doing here with operator CDN, MDN, and all the functionality we have in our SSRs hanging together in an end-to-end solution. Another thing that we're also showing up here, which we talked about a little bit in the beginning of the year, is Lte Broadcast. That's a way to broadcast over LTE. Very efficient, not taking too much spectrum with it. We are today launching with Telstra, that we will work with Telstra to launch that during the year. As well as, we don't have only the Lte Broadcast in the mobile network. We also have the codecs that is using the network the smartest way to deliver the data. Together we're using the right file formats like MPEG Dash. That combination makes Ericsson unique to work with video and content and broadcasting in LTE, which is a great way of doing it. And another way to find innovation and revenue is, of course, cloud. We have been working with cloud for many years to see that we really can deliver a cloud service to our customer and cloudify what we are working with. And as I've now been talking for a while, I will actually ask somebody else to talk about what we are doing in the cloud. Maybe you remember last year we talked a lot about our cloud services. One of them was machine to machine, and that we discussed last year, because we believe in the 50 billion connected devices, and we believe there is a great potential of connecting things in order to be more efficient. And today we announced that together with SAP we take this to the next step. Ericsson, of course, with our global presence in 180 countries, having cloudified machine-to-machine service. We are now cooperating with the largest software enterprise company in the world, SAP, in order for them to bring out the application on it. So just briefly then what we are planning to do. Of course, Ericsson brings the global scale, the machine-to-machine in the cloud. SAP brings applications and the knowledge about softwares that are defined for certain usages. And we're going to the operators. And what we're trying to do is, of course, taking down the barriers so we can quicker address the market of machine-to-machine and support the operators to address that market of 50 billion connected devices. And I think it's a unique cooperation here we're doing with SAP in order to make that happen quickly, because we have together all the assets that is needed.